What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today Bungie is sending out surveys to Destiny 2 players asking what they think about Destiny 2 right now. Now, I know this because they sent me a survey. Rick Gakis, what do you think about Destiny 2 right now? So I'm not getting a sneaky insider source. There's no NDA on this. They just sent me an email survey. And so we're gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna fill it out live for you guys right now. Often these surveys can give us an insight into what Bungie is thinking, right? Like in a lot of different gaming spaces, sometimes these surveys will, preview future content. What do you think if we added this or did this? And so this will be interesting to see what kind of information is Bungie trying to get right now, because certainly asking what you think about Destiny 2, yeah, that's a loaded question with the state of the game right now. So what the heck is in this survey? Well, let's get started. All right, so the first question, how would you rate your Destiny 2 experience in the past week? Well, I haven't really been playing that much this past week. I'm just not really too motivated to play, so I'm probably gonna say somewhat unenjoyable. What did you like about your past week in Destiny 2? And I said, I don't mind the Festival of the Lost event, because I don't. I actually don't think it's a terrible event, like I've been playing it a bit. What do you dislike about your past week in Destiny 2? Well, time to fill this out. Alright, so I said, I really haven't played much this week at all. I got the god rolls I was looking for from Festival of the Lost in the first week, and I have zero motivation for holofoils with terrible rolls in the event path. Like, seriously. I am also completely overwhelmed with tier 5 loot with nowhere to put it. I don't feel motivated to play the portal to finish leveling to the max power level. And this is really, again, this is like the last week how I'm currently feeling with the game. Because you need so much loot to level up fast, like just the volume of loot you're getting from a single portal activity, but like once you get high enough level, it's all tier 5s, and so you're getting all this, for example, tier 5 armor, it's like technically all god rolls, it's all spiky, like, and the difference obviously is the tertiary stat and the tuning stat, I know, but it's like, you just have so much inventory management to do because you're just spammed with so much raw loot. Versus, in the past, in years past, you'd have your like one powerful loot and it was like an easy either, oh, I'm going to keep this because it's a god roll, or I infuse it right away. Because you have to get so much raw loot due to the leveling system, again, it's like very overwhelming and annoying. I don't want to play a game all about inventory management. I don't want to have to inventory manage after I play a single portal activity, but that's what I'm forced to do. And listen, guys, there is so much more I could put in here. I mean, the portal itself being inherently unfun to play, taking the uniqueness around all these activities, shoving them into one place where they all get the same generic loot. Anything outside the portal is not worth doing. But it's asking me about my last week, and right now, currently impacting me. Like you can see, like I just hate having like 8 pieces of loot thrown at me because we're making up for this inherently flawed leveling system that requires so many pieces of loot to level up. Like that's a real issue, and so now I'm just constantly inventory managing, and it's so annoying. How do I know that this specialist class item is bad? I'll look at all the other specialist class items because they all have the same role. So now I'm like going back in my vault, which one has the better tuning stat? It's all honestly so annoying, and it's just what's annoying me right now. This asked me about my last week. This is what's annoying me right now in this last week. So that's how I'm answering this. Anyways, I just added exactly what I just ranted to you guys about. Okay, so they said, how likely would you be to recommend Destiny 2 to a friend or colleague? Right now, dude, not likely, not likely. How likely are you to play the next season of Destiny 2? They got me. You got me there, okay? How motivated are you to keep playing Destiny 2 after completing the Edge of Fate campaign? I would say I'm still motivated. There was so much to do after the campaign. It felt like the campaign, like they should have spent more time on Kepler, if anything. Maybe we should change that to like somewhat motivated. I mean, for me personally, I was very motivated to keep going, certainly after the time. Now, I'm definitely not motivated to play as much, but I completed the campaign so long ago. I think I'm going to keep it like motivated because that's truthful. All right. Which of the following statements best align with how you typically engage with raids? I Participate in raids regularly and familiar with their mechanics. Probably that. And seek to complete challenges. And seek to complete challenges and help others. Probably this one. I'm definitely not doing raids as much, you know, these days. But like, certainly I did quite a lot of Desert Perpetuals when they improved the loot system, and so probably that right now. I feel like this one is like if I was like running, like I was doing tons of Sherpas on stream. I feel like that's like too much. So I think probably this one is true. I'm a bit more than familiar with the mechanics. All right, so all right, have you played the Desert Perpetual raid? Yes, and I finished it. All right, how much did you enjoy the Desert Perpetual raid relative to other raids? Oh my goodness, this is gonna be dude, it's like wow, this is such this is not a good question, because I don't know, the Desert Perpetual raid I think is overall a pretty solid raid, but I hated contest mode. I hated four bosses in a row with a glitched delta. Like, everyone tries to smooth that over. Like, the delta was literally glitched, and it was way harder than Bungie planned on it being, and everyone's trying to like pretend like that wasn't a huge negative of the experience. But now after the contest mode, it's much more enjoyable. But I still hate Hydra with all my being. And so I don't know. I think I'd probably say it's average. I think those two things combined makes me want to say it's average. I really hated the contest mode experience, but I've since come to enjoy the raid much more, and so I think that's fair to say it's kind of average. How motivated or not are you? That's a terrible worded question. In replaying the Desert Perpetual raid, I would say I'm motivated. I've replayed it quite a few times. I think I have to say I'm motivated. I have replayed it quite a few times. Yeah. So I'm gonna click next. Have you interacted with the feat system in the Desert Perpetual raid? This is all about the raid. This is very interesting. Okay, so yes, I've completed encounters with one or more feats active. Yeah, there we go. How satisfied or not are you with the feats system? Well, again, this is like a very this is a hard to say, right? Because on the one hand, I actually really like how the feat system will reward you with high tier loot, completely irregardless of your power level. You can go in and you can be 200 power level, and if you are a really solid raider, you can go in there with multiple feats. You can be walking out of there with tier 5s, hundreds of light early. Now, funny enough, you're never going to go in there at 200 light because you can just go pick up the tech sec supply drop that makes you instantly 300, but you get my point. Like, I kind of like how it's not tied to the power level. At the same time, the feat system, when it launched, was terrible. It was not good at all, right? Like, it was like impossible to get tier 5s. You'd have to have a 5 feat raid, but then they updated it. So it's like, this is, I know they're trying to like have simplistic questions, but it's like, Bungie, you literally changed the feat system. You made it so like the floor is now tier 3. That was a massive change to the feat system. Are you referring to the old feat system or the new feat system? All right, well, I'm gonna say I'm somewhat satisfied. I overall, actually, I'm gonna say neither satisfied or dissatisfied. I don't know about the feats. Like, there's some aspects I really enjoy about it. It feels bad like being forced to do like a harder version of the raid just to get the good loot sometimes, but then it's like, well, people have been asking for a challenge for the longest time. I'm gonna maybe say somewhat satisfied. I think overall it's kind of a cool system. I like how it's like done overall, and certainly now with the changes where like you can get tier 5s just from like the base raid, and at 3 feats you're pretty likely to, and overall I think I'm somewhat satisfied at this point in time. Okay, here we go. What, if anything, would motivate you to engage with raids moving forward? Say, well, okay, I said Well, you guys completely changed the feat system recently by massively increasing the tier of loot you're likely to get. Originally, the feat system sucked, requiring all 5 feats and a team of Salt Greppos to get some tier 5s, but after this change, I've been more motivated to play as I can get high tier loot without having all 5 feats on. However, once you are a high enough power level, you get so much high tier loot from every source imaginable that raid loot really needs to have special rolls / armor set bonuses / stats to help them stand out in order for me to want to grind a raid to get them. You'll notice this is leaving out like how fun a raid is. Honestly, I will play a very unfun raid if I'm motivated. I'm very loot motivated. That's the type of person I am. Like, I want to get the best of the best. I want to get what is the best in slot for like every scenario, every possible build. Like, that is what I'm motivated by. And so, yeah, like for me, it almost doesn't matter what the raid is like. It's like, is there valuable loot in there to go and get? And with this raid, with Desert Perpetual, it's kind of like just the SMG, right? Like, the rocket launcher is very cool. There's some good, like, none of the weapons are, like, aside from the SMG is incredible, but where's the Fatebringer? You know what I mean? Where's that thing that's like, oh, you gotta get this. This piece of raid loot is unbelievably desirable. Like, you have to get this. And honestly, like, Deepstone Crypt did a great job when it came out. The Heritage and the Secession, like, there was like multiple guns in there that was like, oh my gosh, this can get crazy good rolls. I feel like, and it's maybe just in the day and age we're playing where, like, you know, everything's tier 5 and, you know, it's the age of power creep and all this stuff, but I don't know, but it has to stand out. And the armor set bonuses is another way to make stuff stand out. I think the armor set bonus on the raid is good. It's very good actually, but it's not like, oh my gosh, if you get this, it opens up a whole new build possibility, right? If it was like that, I'd be much more motivated. All right. That's it, guys. That is it. Okay, so interesting survey. Certainly nothing, no like kind of previews of what's to come maybe, but like very raid heavy, extremely raid heavy, to a point where why was it titled How You Feeling About Destiny 2? It should have been titled How You Feeling About the Desert Perpetual Raid. Like, all the questions turned into Desert Perpetual Raid questions, the feat questions. Now, probably, if I'm guessing, the reason that is because Bungie is probably already starting work on the next raid. Well, we have Renegades coming out in December. Likely the next raid is going to come 6 months after Renegades, with the next summer DLC in 2026. And so they're probably starting work on the next raid, the Raids and Dungeons team, right? Like, they probably finished up the Renegades dungeon and they're on to work to the next raid. And they're probably wondering, like, hey, you know, this feed system, or what do people enjoy? What do people not enjoy? I wish they would have asked more questions. I wish I would have had the chance to clarify, especially like how much did you enjoy it. I feel like that's a huge difference between contest mode and like normal raiding experience. I think that should have been separate questions maybe. But yeah, kind of an interesting look at what they're thinking about doing, and hopefully I can help them achieve a better rating experience, right? I don't know. Maybe I answered these questions all wrong. I just tried to answer them how I personally feel. Let me know in the comment section if you got this survey, and let me know, like, is it different because I answered yes, I played the Desert Perpetual, and it went off on a tangent for me like that? Like, is everyone getting the Desert Perpetual stuff? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCactus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.